Oracle. What should they call her? What should they call her? Oracle. Hey, my loves. Hey, Muñeca. Hey, everybody. Hey, 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 hey. Come on in, gang, gang. Come on in, come on in, come on in. There's a lot going on. And I figured we should have a little chat. What's good, C2C? What's happening? Let me put my glasses on because you know I need them. And we're going to get into a little conversation. There's a lot to cover, I feel. What's good, Miss Lotus Wisdom? Okay. I hope everybody is good. Let me light an incense. First off, before we even get started, as everybody's coming in, what's good, Cynthia? What's good, D. Jugly? I have this cute little cast iron incense burner that I linked in the TikTok shop. You can actually use it for cones, for smudging, Palo Santo, but it has a little piece that you can also use to stick the incense in. I really like this, fireproof, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna light my little incense. It's linked in the shopping cart, and a couple of the decks that I'm gonna use today I also will link for you guys in case you're interested in that. But we have some stuff to talk about, and if you're on TikTok, you can't see the topic, okay, but it's timeline collapse. It's timeline collapse. I know you can feel that there's a shift. Okay. I feel like there's a major shift, and we're going to look at what is going on. Okay. I'm going to get a mantra for us first. This is one of the decks that I have. Okay. So this is a mantra deck. I feel like this deck is great to pick a daily message, but I'm going to pick one for all of us today because I feel that although there's this timeline shift that is causing, what's the Rose, causing all kinds of shifts to happen for the public, there's going to be some positivity in our individual lives. Okay, for individual questions, I will do that at the end. And I will only do that for people who are following me. Okay? But first off, we're going to look at what's going on in the collective. All right? So let's get a thank you, my love. Let's look at a mantra for us, okay? A message for what Spirit thinks they want us to know. They can't help but think about me and remember me. You're leaving an impression, babes. All eyes on me. Okay. You're leaving an impression. All questions. I will look at the questions at the end of the live. First, we're going to look at what is happening in the collective. This is not, what's the profile? Okay. So just listen. As above, so below. I promise if you listen, you will get the information that you need. Okay, so you are in somebody's consciousness heavy right now. Okay, you may actually feel like the last year or more, like there's been a lot of blockages, but I feel like there's a breakthrough coming. There's an energy shift. It may feel like unwanted attention right now, but it's because it's uncomfortable. Ooh. First one, today I'm open to meeting my dream partner. Okay, some of you are already in relationships. It's not that your partner is not the person, but there may be shifts in this because we're covering timeline shift, okay? That is not only happening in you, but also happening in them. Hello, my loves, okay? So now it's going to be like you're meeting parts of each other that you haven't known before. Okay. So just, okay. My mind is worth millions. There's a lot of ideas that you have been pushing down. Maybe this is imposter syndrome. This is making you feel like, you know, well, little old me, like that's a great idea, but I couldn't do that. I feel like you are being pushed to the front to to play in your creative energy. I feel like right now, this is a time where a lot of what you envision in your mind, you could really bring into reality if you put the dedication. All questions will be towards the end of the live. Okay. I get paid to exist, and it's in reverse. Okay. So this is the main problem you're having right now. There's a financial shift. This is happening to the globe. We have to find other ways to magnetize money, abundance, and the frequency of attraction. Okay. And I feel like it's very uncomfortable for, especially for people that have had in the past, like blockages when it comes to their money. Okay. Or like they've always grown up poor, or all my life I had to fight. And so now as opportunities are coming in, what's going to be so savage? It can feel very, very uncomfortable. Okay. So I just want to start off with that message for the collective. I feel like that actually goes along with what we're going to cover, because I feel like we already know that there's power struggles that's happening in the collective. And that in this power struggle, there's like a vacuum. Right? And it feels very much like we have an opportunity to step into a new alignment. But for that to happen, that means that other things are falling out of alignment. Do you understand? Okay. If you have a personal question, you can try to stick around to the end, but I will only do personal questions for followers. So the reason why I came on here today was I really got heavy CERN energy on me today. Okay. If you're familiar with CERN, you're in the right spot, because this is going to be the reading for you, my love. Okay. So first off, y'all seen the what's good, Milka? The floods in Texas, the floods in Jersey, the earthquake in Alaska. There was another one, I think, off the coast of Indonesia. There's so much happening right now. Thank you guys for all the love and all the gifts. Okay. And they had made an announcement that I believe sometime last week was the shortest days in history. Right? Shortest days in history, because the revolution of the earth is speeding up. They also talked about a current change. They've been talking about animals on the move out of Yellowstone. We've been talking about water coming up in places that water ain't supposed to be. There's global events that are happening. While that is occurring, we have all kinds of social aggressions, let's call them. Okay? And you can see that certain things are not in alignment. Like, people are meeting their cognitive dissonance. I need y'all to follow, because there's certain things, right, that we have to be cautious how we say them, right? But there's been investigations that's been going on for a long time, and they were like the backbones of like a lot of, let's say, social discussion about what is morally and is not morally correct. And those things have swayed public opinion. They have caused rifts in our communities. right? And for so long, a certain group of people were saying that they wanted to have a list uncovered. And now that's being called a hoax. And the cognitive dissonance that that group of people is enduring right now, all of this is tied together. All of it. Okay? Because it's a breaking down of a system that we have been reliant upon, and it's causing us to be out of alignment. So a lot of the people who went through ascension, who've been, changing their way of looking at things, their dark night of the soul came in the beginning of the year. It was like a culture shock seeing, and it still is, and we're still seeing atrocities on a grand scale, but now the focus is shifting, and another group that was the coordinators of chaos are now starting to see cracks. Okay, we're gonna get some tarot, because I feel like that machine, that CERN machine, has a lot to do with why we are seeing disruption. And this disruption is, you might think, okay, for all the questions, save them towards the end, okay, guys? You might think, well, how does that affect little old me and my life and my little 9 to 5 and my corner of the world? It absolutely does. Because whatever is happening on the grand scale is also happening to us privately. Okay? You may not, recognize that, but it's true. Okay, so let's take a look. Spirit, can you show me, please? We have the 9 of Swords. There's a palatable anxiety that the collective is going through, both in our private lives, and it's the situation that we see, outside of us. You have the 9 of Cups here. I feel like this 9 of Cups is like, I remember the way. Well, thank you, Tay Rice. Thank you. I appreciate you. The 9 of Swords and the 9 of Cups. It's like trying to be happy in an anxiety energy. Okay, this is also faking it till you make it. Like, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm okay. What do you mean I'm not okay? Right? You got the 4 cups here. I feel like this is us trying to make sure that this energy doesn't permeate the peace that we have manifested for ourselves. Okay, death and transformation. I feel like we also are waiting for the death of something. We're collectively waiting for a system to finish. It's like it's on resuscitation and we're trying to rip the plug out of the fucking wall. But while that's happening, we're enduring all types of shit. Okay? 9 of Pentacles. This is the third 9. 999. Get in line. Okay. It's also a 9 year. 9 of Pentacles. I feel like while we're waiting to rip that resuscitation cord out of the wall, it's like we're trying to get to the other side of the room, and there's only but so much oxygen in that room. So it's like we're both fighting who's gonna pull the plug first, or who, right? Knight of Wands. This is the agent of chaos. I feel like this is more like an entity, although people might feel it's a specific person. I feel like this is an entity that is trying to hold on, extinction level event, trying to hold on to a particular timeline so that they don't have to move on. It's kind of like an incubus not wanting to release the vessel that they have occupied for not having a host. right? So this Knight of Wands is in panic because it doesn't have a host, and the vessel is expiring. Are you following what I'm saying? And then you have the King of Swords here, okay? And this is how to keep right? This is like when rich people they hope that, oh well, 200 years from now they'll be able to cure all diseases. So you know what I'm gonna do? What's good, Anisha? You know what I'm gonna do? Or Amisha, sorry. I am going to have them freeze my brain, and so that way 200 years from now, when they have a cure for the disease I have, they can just unfreeze me. Very much that. Some incubus is trying to, if they can't find a host, they want to find a way to preserve the ability to survive. Okay? So we're going to use here the name of the deck. I have it linked in the shopping cart for you guys. It's one of my favorites. And of course, I'm getting a blank right now. This deck is fire. Every time I open it, I get a new message. What's good, Ethereal? Let's take a look. I don't know why all of a sudden I put a blank. It's not star seeds, but it's something like that. Judgment is at the bottom of the deck. The timeline collapse that is occurring right now. Okay? And the Divine Mother has her hand in this. So it's the original. So I used to think that OI was against AI. And I always used to say that. And for those of you that are in my Patreon, you know what I'm saying. Right? That AI was trying to recreate OI. And it's not true. I feel like AI and OI are kind of going to meet up together to see if humanity, because this isn't the first time that humanity gets like an extreme level of intellectual or technological gifts. Okay, what's good, Project XQ? I feel like what happens is every time we get to that level, we use it against humanity instead of for humanity. And because of that, we're dismantled. And I feel like that's why we keep seeing the Aztecs and these, you know, all these things about Atlantis civilizations, right? That were more developed, right? And I feel like we're at a crossing point. And right now, it may look as if we are losing this extinction level event. But it really more so feels as if there's a magnification done by the divine to highlight where we have gone wrong. What is the illness that we're infected with? Just like I said, there is a as above, so below. If there's an incubus that is inhabiting the collective and trying to find a new host so that it does not die off this system, then that is also happening in our individual lives. And as you do the shadow work and you are expelling the toxicity from your timeline so that you can elevate. Thank you guys for all the gifts. Okay. What is happening? Nice to meet you as well, Sally, right? What is happening? That people who are still in the lower frequency are attacking you because they see you as the problem, right? The incubus is trying to find a way, right, to permeate and to stay alive. Think of it like a bacteria, right? So as you're becoming healthy, you are becoming the enemy of the bacteria. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So right now you may feel heavily under attack, but it's because you're the antidote. You're the next version. Do you understand? Okay, so let's clarify this 9 of Swords. Spirit, why is this 9 of Swords here with the 5 of Wands? And there's a lot of people who don't want you to elevate. There's a lot of people who don't want to be rid of the virus. Okay? And they will drink the Kool-Aid. They will believe what they're told. They will, avoid accepting the cognitive dissonance so that they can stay in a system, even if it's on life support. Even if you open the door and say, look, there's fresh air out here. You won't need that life support machine if you just step outside, step out of the matrix, step out of this timeline. And they won't do it because they're used to it. No, what they're trying to do is stop you from leaving. Okay. 9 of Cups is here. Spirit, why is the 9 of Cups here for the collective? It's coming out with the Justice card in the upright with the 8 of Swords and the High Priestess. Wow. Okay. So, as I said, as above, so below, right? This thing is looking for a host, right? And the divine is causing all of this rupture, earthquakes, and floods to show that, hey, the way that you are inhabiting the earth is toxic and it's going to kill the host. Okay? Questions will be at the end and only for followers. Okay, so the 9 of Cups is here, right? So this is the people who are supporting the system. Okay, they support. All of a sudden, they wanted the list. Now they support. It doesn't exist, right? Anything that can make them feel like everything is okay. Cognitive dissonance, right? Of course, it's true. Of course, it'll be fair. Everything will turn out okay. This is what we asked for, right? But 9 of Swords, 8 of Swords, something is gnawing at them. It's like, what do I do? I drank the Kool-Aid. I asked for another cup of Kool-Aid, and now I can't admit that I can't swallow. Okay, High Priestess, even though I know it, let me just stay quiet because maybe nobody will notice. 7 of Cups. It's an illusion. We all can see it, okay? But those individuals, they want to believe in the illusion, right? And why is this happening? Neptune retrograde. Neptune retrograde. Neptune rules illusions. So what's happening? People are waking up from their slumber. Think about it because it's in retrograde. So now you got to see it. Oh, that shit don't make sense. Also, you were saying that we had to know because everybody on the other side was going to be on that list. And now all of a sudden that you might be on the list, you're not. 4 Cups, right? Well, here's the story we want you to run with. Don't believe the hype, right? Don't believe the hype. Don't believe anybody. It's only what I say, right? Don't look. You don't need a vaccine. You don't need anyone to tell you. You don't need news channels. All you need is to believe me when I tell you something. And look, 4 Cups. I guess if you say so, but it doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel right. The weather is off. There's water where it doesn't belong. There's all kinds of situations, icebergs breaking off the sides of Chicago. But you say everything's okay? It's all okay? Okay, well, if you say it's all okay. But I don't know. I just feel like I'm being lied to. Right? The world's on fire. It feels like the world's on fire. Death card. There's nothing to see here. Spirit, death card here with the King of Wands, right? But the animals are leaving, they're migrating, right? Questions will be at the end, guys. Right? Animals are migrating. The intuition, maiden, mother, and crone is being awakened in all of us. Like, pay attention. Pay attention. Right? Hangman, we're getting a new perspective. Age of Aquarius, right? King of Swords, right? They're trying to fool us. They don't want us to look at something. They don't want us to read. They don't want us to know. Right? The Magician. And look at CERN and look at the swirl. CERN, rapid, right? And the Emperor. And that is, the incubus trying to hold on to a system that they feel will help them achieve something. 8 of Wands, communicate, fall in line. All of you fall in line, or else there'll be serious repercussions. I said, you better do what I said. All of us? You can get all of us? I don't know. It feels like there's more love and light than there is darkness. I feel like you're trying to convince us of something. Lovers, what happens if we don't believe you? What happens if revolution or Uranus in Gemini sparks rebellion? 9 of Pentacles. Spirit, what if we decide that we're not under the thumb of a system, that we don't have to drink the Kool-Aid, that we don't have to succumb? Strength card. What if we outlast this virus? What if we have hope and faith? And what if the system can actually withstand? 7 of Pentacles, yes, it'll be battered and bruised, and we might need to rebuild it. But what if we could withstand it? What if we could remove our participation from it with the 4 of Pentacles and not feed into it and not put our abundance into it? With the Knight of Wands, what would happen to this succubus, this incubus that has been thriving off of our demise for so long? What would happen? Right? It might die off because the 4 of Swords, it will not be able to heal. It will not be able to sustain itself, right? 5 of Cups, right? And it would fail. Right? 10 of Pentacles. And then the host would be free. But that's why they're trying to make us so sick right now in many ways, to stop us from breaking free. Thank you so much for the gifts, okay? Right? 5 of Cups, to make us think that we need them. Like if you go in withdrawal, right? I need a fix, right? So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to fearmonger you into submission. Okay, 6 of Wands, right? And not hope that you don't recognize, right, that you are the host and that you can evict this thing. Okay, you got the King of Swords here in the upright. Okay, this is something that's trying to preserve itself, whether it has to freeze itself, right? You have the Queen of Swords here in reverse. This is the dark feminine. She's with the shit, okay? This is Texas flood. This is Jersey flood. This is Alaska earthquake. This is iceberg breaking off of Antarctica, the size of Chicago. This is disruption, mayhem, chaos to break a system, to evict a incubus that, and I have been saying for a long time, that as humans, we have to make a decision, right? Whether we're going to be part of the problem or part of the solution. Because if you think that Mother Earth doesn't have the ability to decide that we are enemy number one because we are the ones that cause disruption, they will wipe our asses out. Okay? And so there is something that is occurring to force the public to recognize this is our last hope. As above, so below. So although we have to expel a incubus from ourselves and our way of thinking and a system that no longer supports us but is actually feeding off of us, right? At the same time, we have to see that we can be looked at as that problem. And we have to choose, are we the solution? Are we going to start breaking down and rejecting the things that are poisoning us? Like individuals that want to charge us for water, like individuals that want to exploit children, like individuals that want to put borders and use bodies in ways of ownership and not allowing people to live free and plant and eat and live off the land. But no, they want to put them in facilities to contain them solely based on systems that they feel will preserve their control, right? Ace of Wands, right? And the Queen of Cups. And although they may feel high on their power as if they are punishing and causing as much havoc as they can every day, what they do not realize is that the divine feminine is rising out of the water. That's why you're seeing so many water events and things that are happening close to the water, okay? Because this is a method of her in response to our activities. Now, I really got to say something in a particular manner, and I need y'all to really pay attention. There's an individual who's a leader somewhere else, and this leader had made threats. This leader had made some threats. This is a timeline collapse reading because that's what we're experiencing, right? So this leader, they had made some announcements a while ago talking about how they could deploy some underwater vessels and how if they release something from those underwater vessels that it would cause a huge wave like a tsunami. And so some of the things that we're seeing, you know, what's good, Brianna, could possibly be connected to other things and not necessarily just to nature. So remember what I said initially, that we have the divine feminine who is trying to bring our acts out to our attention to recognize the harm that we're causing. Okay. Thank you for the share. Any questions that have anyone has, I will look at those at the end, but right now I'm doing a general read. This individual could be doing things to try to retaliate. This same person came forward, I believe it was like last week or whatever, was like, y'all should look at your food. I hope that helped to narrow who it was, right? Y'all should look at your food because your food ain't right. And, you know, you might be consuming your own. Yeah, that was basically the implication. Okay. I feel like the government's like snitches get stitches. What you talking about? Right? We ain't talking about nothing. What you talking about? You ain't talking about nothing. Huh? What? Nothing? Baby? What? Say what? If there was ever a time to go vegetarian, at least pescatarian. What say you? Okay, so there's that. And like I said, as above, so below. So as you are cleaning this frequency out and you're having all this disruption to your nervous system, and even if you don't see it on the news, you can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight, right? We're not sleeping. We're waking up out our sleep. What the hell is going on? What's happening? We're being pushed to calibrate or to vacate. You may notice that certain people are not in your aura anymore. There's a timeline collapse. Yeah, some people are physically transitioning, but more than likely we're being divided. Right? It used to be the haves and the have-nots. This is more like the healed and the unhealed, or the awakened and the unawakened. Okay, thank you for the follow. So I just want you to understand there's a shift, there's a timeline shift, okay? And there's a lot of individuals that have been infected by incubus, and they just do not want to let go of the host, and they want to believe that there's nothing to see here. Right? But if you notice, there were so many believers. I'm a believer, right? And now all of a sudden you're starting to see cracks. Little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. Yeah. What's good, unicorn? Right? Hey, everybody coming in. So I feel like what's happening is realization is starting to happen. Although these people are not necessarily ready to admit that they drank the Kool-Aid, or that they've been infected, or that they need a vaccine. Death and rebirth. Okay, spirit. Why? What else is out here? Knight of Cups. Seven of Pentacles. Okay, there's going to be a shift. I feel like there's some blinded by the light. You look up like a juice in the middle of the night. Okay, there's something about replanting, restarting, right? Fixing something. Tree of Life. I feel like whatever is happening right now is going to push humanity to there's an extinction level event. There's something that's going to occur. I feel like by October, big event. Okay, this big event is going to cause people to not believe in, don't believe the hype, right? To not believe in the, oh, it's just a hoax, or, oh, there's no global warming, there's no list, there's no, all this denial is not gonna hold reality anymore in as above so below. So you pick the subject. Okay, I said Neptune retrograde is here. All the illusions, the things that people wanted to just shut their eyes and no, everything's gonna be fine because they said so, because they said that's how it is, right? That shit is not gonna make it anymore. Reality is upon us. Nine of Pentacles and the Death card is gonna come from a sink or swim mentality. Those that accepted the mission, accepted the awakening, accepted reality, right? And had their nervous system disrupted since the beginning of the year, but they have been, trying to sound the alarm. I feel like there is going to be a rebirth for you. I feel like also other people who thought that they were good and just wanted to buy into the lie or whatever, their financials, it's going to be like chaos. And so that will force an awakening, a rebirth. Okay. I also feel like there's going to be a lot of boats coming for individuals to assist, maybe because air travel isn't possible. Okay, so you got the Knight of Cups here with the Strength card. I feel like those that were open to listening and those that are like remorseful will be able to shift. Okay. I feel like there is a large organization that was part of this problem and a particular religious way of thinking. At the last minute, and I'm going to use a biblical term, are going to rent themselves to the floor. In an act of contrition and they will open their doors to the masses and their coffers for fear of punishment. If you understood what I said. Seven of Pentacles, Spirit, why? Seven of Pentacles, Spirit, why? Why is the Seven of Pentacles here? With the Ten of Swords. Because people will only take interest and take part in their own survival once they feel threatened, once the worst has happened. And there is an extension level event that is coming. And this time, it's as if the Divine Mother wants to see, okay, because we're on the precipice. Spirit said that we've had some certain technology for a long time and that they have hidden it from us so that they can continue to make money off of it. And because of that, right, that they have been just stripping, right? This incubus, right? And destroying the planet, but also destroying humanity and destroying the soul, the collective soul. And Spirit is saying basically like, we're at a crossroad, and the Divine Mother, okay, which is also the dark feminine, is forcing some events, right, of expelling the incubus, right, so that like she'll let it all burn. Do you understand? She'll let it all burn just so that she can regenerate herself. She will do that shit. But she's hoping that the wake-up call will wake us up and make us realize that we can use this technology if we just take it from a few and give it to the masses, and we can finally get this situation right. and we could be part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Okay? But the 9 of Swords, we are at crossroads right now. 6 of Pentacles, Spirit, why is that? In the past, we have refused to think about the future. Greed sets in, right? 8 of Cups in reverse. I can't leave it alone. Can't leave it alone. Refuse to vacate. Refuse to expel the incubus and the Queen of Cups in reverse. Okay, she's had fucking enough of us. Okay, too many of her other species have fallen by the wayside due to the greed of the human. Okay, and the High Priestess is here in reverse. She's like, I've been sending you messages. Y'all don't heed this shit. This is your last motherfucking chance. I promise you to fuck that. 3 of Swords. It will hurt me. But just like the lioness who has 3 cubs and one is sick and the other 2 will die if she doesn't end that one, because she can't take care of it. She's going to either abandon it or she's going to kill it and take it out of its misery. Because that is the good for the greater good. For the world. And she ain't fucking playing. Okay? And the Divine Feminine, she's back. Look. She's like, you're gonna do it right, or you're not gonna be here. What you want to do. Because this is a prison of your own making. So you don't fix this shit right now. As above, so below. Right? The Magician. Time is running out. And we know that time is running out. We can feel that time is running out. We can feel all the things that have been occurring. Okay? I just wanted to tell you that. All right? I'm going to take a couple questions, but I wanted to say that because Spirit has been at me to discuss this. Now, before I take any questions, I want to add one thing. That particular leader who's been trying to affect situations here is getting help from other places. But now it's dog eat dog. And it's a race to the finish. I'm going to leave that there for my Patreon people. Tomorrow, breaking news, where we get into detail. If you like these kind of readings, you can join my Patreon, or you can join, you can join my Patreon. All right, we are going to do some questions. I am live both on TikTok and YouTube. I'm going to take one from TikTok and then one from YouTube, and like that. Okay, I'm going to do it for a few minutes, and then after that, I'm gone. Okay, and I will only take it if you are following me. If you are not following me, I will not take your question. Okay, so let me see. Okay, will I be good in my new position as direct dispatch? Thank you. Thank you for the gifts, guys. I greatly appreciate you. Make sure you're following if you would like to ask a question. It's going to be very hectic. I can tell you that. Okay, so it's clicky there. Okay, it's a little clicky over there. You may not feel comfortable at first. You can feel very challenged. I feel like the money is going to be good, and you're going to have to toughen up, Buttercup, because I feel like it's an aggressive environment, okay? But and it could be a little clicky. Maybe people work there for a while, but I do feel like you'll overcome it, but it is going to make you get out of your comfort zone. Brianna. Oh, it's got to be a yes or no question. I'm not like yes or no, okay? Rephrase it. Okay? Is Tajana in love with me? I feel like it's possible. The problem is that they're not comfortable with emotion and may distance themselves because they want to keep it light. Okay. So this person could be commitment avoidant. Okay. Brianna, rephrase your question. Jen, will my husband get a call this week to go back to work? He might get a call telling him when, but it may not be this week. Okay? So they could be saying something like, okay, well, we're bringing everybody back in 2 weeks. Okay? Something like that. Okay? Ra, will Nick and his ex be signing divorce papers soon? Yes. But there may be something that happens right after. Something unexpected that's connected to it. Okay, some kind of financial situation or something that they didn't know was going to come up. Okay. MLG, is the right time to move out of my household for peace of mind? The right time. MLG to move. Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles, but you may be getting a roommate. Okay, you got 2 sixes. Okay. Augustina, will Ahmed reach out to me to reconcile? Ahmed feels drawn to you. Queen of Wands with the Page of Wands, but they also know like maybe this has happened before and it always goes badly or something. But Hangman, they feel like maybe they shouldn't. Okay. Or it's not for, it's like a good time, not a long time. Okay. With the Hierophant cross, it's not commitment. Okay. Will I pass my second inspection? There's a problem. Okay. You may feel like somebody's making it hard on you, but I feel like it's a smaller thing, something that you can address quickly. Okay. Okay, Brianna. Let me make sure I can move in the right direction. Okay. Am I doing things right? Make sure to be following. Yes, my love. Missed you, official Venus. It's definitely a timeline shift. That's what we were talking about. Spirit, can you show me? Yes, but they want you to take responsibility for something, Brianna. And they want you to make an offering. Make sure you don't promise something and then not do it. Brianna. Go to a tree and pour out. I'll hit you up about that. But I feel like this is for your masculine side of the family. Somebody wants to bring you some help. This masculine smoked cigars. You can leave a cigar for them too. Okay. Malik, is Malcolm completely checked out of our relationship? Listen, guys, please do follow. If you want me to answer your question, please do follow. It's an energy exchange. Please do follow. The Tower. They're checked out for the moment, but they're going back and forth in their mind. Okay, this person needs some time to think about things, but they could be a Virgo, but I feel like they are in some kind of hermit mode about a choice that they need to make. Okay. Anybody else want to ask a question on YouTube? You guys need to drop them. What's good with you? Be so savage. You got a question? Okay. Brittany, will I hear from AW soon? I will call your name if I'm going to answer your question. Judgment. You might hear from them soon, but it could have something to do with like a closure. Okay. This feels like they want something. Okay. Unicorn. Will I pass a certification in August? Manny, you got to write the question again. Yes, you will. Okay, but study, study, study is the name of the game. But yes, you will. I think you're going to have to, you just have to study, okay? Nicole, does Rob still love me? You guys got to follow. Guys got to follow. Manny, you got to write your question again, okay? Thank you for this. Yes, this person loves you, but they also either they have more money and they're worried about you wanting them for the money, or they're attached to what you can do for them and you need to pay attention to that. Okay? Manny, will I get back with my ex-wife, Lisette? Let's take a look, Manny. Because it's too hard for me to start scrolling back up. So, like, you just guys gotta understand. You gotta write it till spirit can catch it. I know you've been going through a heartbreak here, Manny. She thinks about it. She thinks about getting back with you, but the Judgment card is here. She's wondering if she does go back, will it be like a prison of her own making and coming back to this, even though, she has a lot of deep feelings still for you. Okay. 2 of Swords. She may not believe that you can all the way change with the 4 of Swords here. I think you would serve yourself more if you actually, if you go to therapy and show her that you are making the active effort on your own solo journey to be enlightened, then reunited. But if you don't do all that, it won't happen. Okay, so you got to be real with yourself. What are you willing to do to get her back? Okay? Are you willing to do all the steps? Joe, will Doug commit to me? Will Doug commit to me? Two of Swords with the Magician. I feel like Doug has trouble committing to individuals and may like people who are quick to cut them off. Okay. So this person has like an attachment avoidant personality. And then if you detach, then they will try to come back into your lane. But other than that, it's always going to be like a cat and mouse situation. You feel me? Okay, I'm going to take like 3 or 4 more questions and then I'm up out of here. Okay, Alexandria, will Devon and I get back together? Guys, please make sure that you follow. If you want me to answer your question, make sure that you are following. Will Devon and I get back together? If you do, it'll be always break up to make up energy. I don't know if that's what you're looking for. You are me and Aiden really done. 6 of Wands with the Queen of Pentacles. No. Will my husband Pierre come back? I mean, you should think about whether that's in your best interest. It looks like there's a lot of arguing, a lot of back and forth, okay? And this person is always going to have you falling on the sword so they can feel righteous and right, okay? Is my baby daddy playing games? I'm doing okay, honey. I am hanging in there. Page of Wands, Queen of Wands. Yes, your baby daddy's playing games. They haven't matured all the way. They're heavily attracted to you, okay? But also it's that you haven't really forced them to make a choice, okay? And then stand on it, right? 3 of Swords. And you may not like that. You may not like how that would show up for you. But I feel like this person is just not mature yet. Will I be in a serious relationship with Jesse? Okay. Big facts, right? I'm the coldest, I can tell you that. Chariot and Temperance. Spirit is saying it could possibly happen, but you shouldn't just hold on. Hey, my love, there goes Talk Tequila. Please do follow my sis, Talk Tequila. Okay, this person, it's like you know, they know that that's an available option, but you don't want to be waiting. Okay, you don't want to be waiting for this person to show up. And they know that they have you there in the background. Talk to me. You got a question before I get off of here, my love? We'll slowly come back. They're not thinking about that right now. They're taking action elsewhere. Okay. I feel like they're trying to make you feel regretful, even though it feels like their actions were the ones that caused the situation, but they feel like if they can make you feel needy or some way, then that just passing through. Okay. If they can make you feel needy, then they can still draw off of you. Okay? Last question. Last question for the collective. Drop your questions, guys. Spirit's gonna pick it. Sylvia, will my audio book be successful? Spirit, will her audio book be successful? You're welcome. Yes, but it may take some time. Okay? Because I feel like the person who's in charge of promoting this may have other things on their mind. And so you need to make sure that you pick the right person to push it out. So if they have too many projects, they have too many clients, then it feels like you will get pushed to the back. Okay? So it's really important. Alexis, stay. Okay, I'm going to take your question even though I said I wasn't, right? It's important that you get the right person to push someone who is also trying to break into an industry, because I feel like they will give the attention that is necessary, okay? Alexis, will I get into a good college? Let's look. I feel like Spirit is saying yes, but I feel like they want to let you know something else. Let me look. Spirit, can you show me for Alexis? Can you show me, please, for Alexis? You're going to get into a good college? How do you get a reading? You can check. All my information is in the link. Okay. Yes, but you need to be careful about when you get to this college and the group that you fall into. Okay. Alexis, Spirit is saying make sure that when you're in these spaces that you're not the smartest person in the room, or else you're in the wrong room. Okay. I feel like there's going to be individuals that want to get close proximity to you because you're intelligent. Okay. But Spirit is cautioning you to not just fall into social circles and to be paying attention to, because I feel like there's some connections that you're gonna make. I don't know if you're in something science related, okay? But I feel like there's some connections that you're gonna make there that are very lucrative and long term. Okay, there may even be a professor that is going to take you under their wing. Okay, while everybody else is socializing, there's something here about you making connections. So don't get caught up with the bullshit or with like the crowd or whatever. Okay? That's what Spirit is saying. That there may be like these people might be like, oh, could you write my paper? You know, and listen, it Spirit says also don't get involved with shit like that. And to remember that if you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room. Okay? Spirit, are we done? I'm letting Spirit pick. And you'll write nobody's paper, right? You're too smart for that. Correct. How do you set the boundary? You listen, when it comes to, I mean, first off, if you're having trouble setting boundaries and it's time to look within yourself, and you can always book with me, consultation, where we could talk about how you start evolving in that way. But really, you already know what doesn't feel comfortable. And you keep allowing certain situations because you want to be in proximity of this person. But as long as you're doing that, they can tell that you are trading away something of yourself. And the message that you're saying is that they're more valuable than you are. Okay? When you recognize that the translation of that is, I need something outside of myself because I don't believe I am enough. That is the message that we send when we trade away our boundaries for proximity to something. And the object that sees us trading away our boundaries for them recognizes that we are searching for something outside of ourselves, and they turn around and they say, obviously you think I'm better than you, and I agree. Think about all the fucking times in your life where that chaser runner energy happened. That's exactly what the fuck happened. That the energetic message that you gave out was that this person was more important than you, and they agreed with you. And if you ever notice, when you don't want something or when you disconnect from something, that's when that thing is chasing you. That's the secret, gang. Okay, so whenever you're overly invested, you've already compromised a boundary. Okay, I'm going to put it to you in another way where you can apply it to everything. The universe only has one answer, and the answer is yes. So what are you asking the universe to say yes to? I am enough? Yes. Or if this person doesn't want me, then my life is over because I'm not worthy. Yes. I could be a doctor. Yes. I ain't gonna be shit. Yes. You see, what is the question that you are asking spirit to say yes to? And are you meeting that energetically? Thank you for the gifts, my love. Right? It's just for you to understand that when your frame of mind changes in regards to how you see yourself, then other people's perception of you also changes. So it all starts with you, right? So if you have 4 relationships that are the same, like, oh, 4 times in a row I got cheated on. Well, 4 times in a row you sent out the message that they could get away with it. That's the fucking truth. There's a lot of tarot readers out here that'll blow smoke up your ass. There's a ton. Okay? My whole purpose is so that way you start shifting the way you see things, and then people can't play in your face because you tell the truth to yourself. How the fuck I'm alive for you? If I'm telling myself when I fuck up and how somebody got over on me, then how is it that I'm gonna let you fucking lie to me? If these people don't know each other, then the common denominator is you. So how do you change the frequency that you're in, the frame of mind that you're in, and the responses that you give, and the runner chaser, so that what you want also wants you. So that what you're manifesting is meeting you where you are, instead of you trying to chase something outside of yourself. That is the key. If you're interested in that type of work, give me a follow. That's what I do. All right, my loves. I just want to say thank you to all of you guys for spending time with me. Right now, I'm actually in the middle of moving my mom's room from one room to the other. She can't go up and down the stairs anymore. So I need to go have lunch and then help move her downstairs. I will meet you on Signal, honey. And I'm wishing you all light and love and blessings on blessings. Bye, guys. Bye. And follow Talk Tequila. That's my soul sister there. Bye. Okay. Bye, my loves.